Good morning, everybody. This is Ken. Happy July 4th to those in the States. Hope you enjoy a good day of barbecuing with your family and friends today, and just have a good day. Try to stay cool. It's going to be a hot one out there if you're in the northeast part of the country. I'm checking in this week just to give an update of where we are with the van. We're this close to being there, so we have a lot of cool things that we've put in. I'm really excited about it. We're off today. We have some commitments later this afternoon, but we're going to try to get out to the home store again this morning. I need a tool to put the swivel seat in. I'll do a separate video on that, but I do have the swivel to install, and but that'll be something I probably do this weekend. Probably want to put the table in today. But let me run you through a couple of things here real quick of what we did. So we'll start right at the front. As if you remember from a previous video, I said we were going to switch the couch and the kitchen counter, and we did that for the Galley with the sink and so forth, and moved that back and put a couch up front. In this couch bench, if you will, which we'll get cushions for, we will store the toilet, the emergency toilet in there. And basically, I haven't quite figured out a lid for it yet. Right now, we just have a couple of handles on here, and it'll be a lift-up lid that we have Velcroed down. Just a point of note, this is industrial strength CM or 3M Velcro that we've stuck right to the glue. We've already cut a bunch of it out because it's so strong. I was afraid we were going to rip the handles right out of the lid. It locked that lid down so tight. Recall, I'm all about safety, so I really wanted this lid to stay in place, and it certainly does, especially once you sit on it and it locks that Velcro in place. So you can see we've cut some out of here, and actually we're going to cut a bunch more and just have it in the corners, in the corners on each side, and really just go with that, because that lid's not going anywhere. You need to do like a squat lift to get that lid off of there. So this is where we'll put the emergency toilet. You can see the one we have, I actually had to carve a little bit in the frame so it would fit down in there. It fits down in there nice. We did order in some pre-cut insulated Reflectix covers for the two front windows and the windshield. I tested those yesterday in about 100-degree heat. So they go across the front here with suction cups and just stick on. And it really made a difference. That was huge. So that's the couch. And I'll do a more thorough tour of all this when we actually get it all complete. But so you can see it really does lock into place. The Galley area, we did put the counter on, and I put some trim up around here, and the only thing I need to do here is hook up the water and put two doors on here. I'm going to mount both of the doors in the center here on the hinges. This door will open up this way. This door here, which is where all the water storage will be, I want the door to open up this way so we can just easily take jugs out the side door. I'll just come around all the way to the back here. You can see we put the flooring in the back. The other night I was out here and I was going to put the table in, and I had it all set and ready to go, and I had the drill out and I was ready to start sinking my first screw, and I thought, well crap, I got to put the floor in first or this is really going to be a problem. And so I had to pull everything back out, and which, that is not by far the first time that's happened in this van. Pull it all back out, put the floor in. I did that the other night, and we're going to put a little piece of trim there. Next project is to figure out this drawer area here, which will also be steps up to there. But this is the tabletop. It came out really nice. We did decide to cut it, so we still have that area back there. There's only two of us, and you can see this drops down and fits perfectly down in here for our storage on the side benches. And then this is perfectly 6 feet across, so it will let both of us sleep widthwise in here, so that's really nice. We have our pantry. Haven't put all the shelves in yet, or any of the shelves in yet, because we haven't figured out really what exactly we want to store in there, or how much. So we're kind of figuring out which ones do we actually want to use. A quick note on these counters, the one here for the galley, and also the one here for the slider door. This is going to be our cook area, and our galley area. This is 3/4 inch birch plywood that we found that just had some nice grain to it. We just oiled this with a food safe oil top, but we also put a dark walnut stain around the side to kind of give it that, to hide that plywood look a little bit and just give it a nice contrast. My wife did that and she did a phenomenal job on that. But these counters, we did not glue these down. They're just screwed in at an angle. All the screws I put in, they're kind of angling out just to kind of hold it, to bring that board down and really hold it in. And I think they're in there pretty good. I'll come over here to the slider door, or the slider cabinet. This is the cabinet I had showed you in a previous video. This is all locked down. You can see how I'm attaching some of these. So we have 3 screws that are taking this into the floor. I have 2 pieces of angle, one on either side, that is also holding this down. And there's a screw that goes in the cross member back there. Actually, there's 3 screws. So that's holding it. But I went the next level. This is the drawer for the refrigerator here that will come out. But you'll notice where these are screwed in, I took 2-inch lag bolts, drilled holes. There's one here and there's one back there. And those lag bolts are really what's holding this down. This thing's not going anywhere in an accident. So this cabinet, which is one that it didn't really concern me, but again, with safety, I wanted to make sure that nothing was going to move in here. And even, I know I talk a lot about accidents, but I wanted to make sure that, just general driving off-road stuff didn't come loose over time, etc. So this is lag bolted into the bottom, and there's also, you can see back down the side there, hopefully, there's also an angle, a 90-degree angle piece of steel that's holding it down there, and there's another one over there. So there's 4 90-degree angles holding this down, 2 2-inch lag bolts, and some screws. And my fridge door that locks into place. We haven't put the fridge in yet. This is the shelf here that we'll put our stove into. I haven't figured out the faceplate of this, but that's stuff I can figure out as we're using it. The goal with a lot of, the last couple of weeks is, if you recall, get this to a place where we can use this, and then we can finish it as we're using it and really seeing what we're going to need. I'll give a shout out to my wife. She made these nice Reflectix and Thinsulate covers for the side window with a really nice, they're Velcro, and she put a nice material in there. They look pretty cool. I'll come back here real quick to this table, and this was something I was really nervous about, the fit of the table on here, but it fits perfectly. So we're excited about that. We were kind of considering, do we stick with the long piece or do we cut it? We did cut it, finished out the other piece, and you can see it has, these are what, 1x3s I think I mounted down there, and my wife painted them a nice accent color. And this fits down. It's a little humid in here, so it's a little sticky, but that fits down there nice. Up on the ceiling, where we have the cedar all kind of joined at this one cross member here, and you could see the pieces, the ends, and it was really tough. So what I did is I took another piece. I took one of these pieces that was left over, cut the edges off of it, gave it a quick sand down, and I used it for the trim to kind of go across and hold these ends up in there. So that worked out really nice. Actually, I think it looked pretty well. What else did we do? Mounted the sink in the counter. Of all the cuts that we did in the van, this was, for me, probably the scariest one, because my wife had spent so much time finishing these pieces of wood for the surfaces that I was really terrified of cutting the hole in that one, that I didn't want to go back to her and go, hey, I screwed up and we're going to have to redo that. But that worked out really well. And I won't put the doors on until I get all of the water and stuff hooked in there. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've got for right now. So as I said, that's pretty much where we're at right now. We need to put the plumbing in, get some water running in here, pop the fridge in, put the table on, and we're basically camp ready at that point. Everything's good to go. I do want to get the swivel in, but I have to go. There's 4 bolts on that seat that are just one of those little star. They're the star top bolts, and it's the one wrench I don't have. I have smaller ones, but I don't have one that's the size for that, so I need to run out and get one of those today. And that's pretty much it for now. The goal was, as we get into July, let's get this thing at least usable, camp ready. We can start enjoying it, and these littler things we can fix and finish along the way. Probably the biggest thing I'm looking at now is the siding, the whole walls, and how will we deal with that? Are we just going to put up some kind of 1/4-inch material, like a whiteboard material? I know we do have a nice piece of paneling for the insets on the bed that is in the basement. Just haven't cut it yet. It's really hot and humid in the Northeast right now. Actually, a good part of the country. There was a couple days where it got over 100 here. I was in no mood after work to come home and start cutting things. I have been working in the van after work, but I close all the doors, turn on the air conditioner for a couple of minutes, which is really giving the insulation a good test, and it actually works. It keeps it workable in here, that I can be in here for a couple hours in the evening after work. So until next time, enjoy your July 4th, America, and everybody else, happy camping. We'll see you down the road. Peace. One more thing I forgot: subscribe to the channel if you like the content we're putting out. Click the like button, throw comments down there, shout out and appreciation to some people who put some comments and emailed me actually on the Lyme disease. I feel a ton better. Meds are working. I kind of feel like I'm back to full speed again. So that worked out fairly well. And yeah, thanks. We'll see you down the road.